Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Show, or Papa Joe Knows. I am your host, Papa Joe. Thank you for being here, everyone. Much appreciated. I have a few people here. Looks like I have a couple people watching live. So thank you guys for watching live. This is a lot of fun. On this show, we typically do, I have the live chat running, and I let people come in and say what they want to say, have a conversation with each other, have a conversation with me, and yeah, fun time usually. Um, just a quiet little heads up here. I have had some interesting internet issues this morning, where my stupid browsers just would not load a lot of different things. I don't know what's going on with it. So if something glitches, some of you know that I'm on Telegram and you can ping me on there. And those of you who are part of the Patreon, you know I have the Telegram Patreon channel there as well for everyone. If y'all let me know if something happens, I'd really appreciate it. So do me a favor, pop in the chat, say hey. I will bring you up on screen here in a few minutes. We're gonna let people kind of shuffle on in here and some coffee while that happens. So if you're watching on other platforms, if you like the content on these channels, do me a favor and smash the likes. If you're watching here on YouTube, thank you very much. And again, if you like the content, smash the likes. So to also just a little quick thing here, I do the 12:30 show every day. And I also do a 4:30 Patreon show in the afternoon. That is where I get to be unfiltered. My regulars, I know you guys hear me say this all the time, and I do apologize to run through it, but it is just one of those things. Just let other people know, hey, I have two shows. And the only reason I do that, and I hate it, is that so I can actually talk about things and be truthful about things. Not that I'm not being truthful here, but I can't say certain things on this particular part of the channel without being, well, I get slapped around, if you will, if you say certain things. So yeah, fun times. So with that, I do that Patreon show. It's $5 a month, you guys. Those of you who are in there, thank you. It means the world to me. And it's been consistently growing. So you guys and gals all are part of the reason for that, and it means a lot to me. If that grows enough, this could end up being something I do a lot more regularly and have a lot more better content, or deeper content, if you will. I have time to really research stuff. Not that I don't do that now. It's just one of those things where it's like I'll have the time to do it, if you will. So anyways, you guys are not part of that, go ahead and pop in there. If you don't want to stay, that's cool, whatever. It's only $5. So anyways, so with that, as I've been talking about recently, starting February 1st is Crypto Confidential. If you want to be part of that newsletter, pop in. It's linked in the description of the channel. You will not regret that investment. I've already seen some of the content, and realistically, guys and gals, that's the type of stuff that is very worth that type of investment. So, and if you don't like it, it's a yearly subscription. So if you don't like it after a year, then just like with anything else, just don't renew. So anyways, I digress. So let's talk about what's going on today. I have titled this specifically in the way that I did: Will inflation make crypto skyrocket? And my answer is I believe it will. And the reason I believe it will, realistically speaking, is because, oh, hang on, I forgot to, well, that didn't work anything. Push the wrong button, and now I'm getting feedback. Sorry about that, everyone. When you click the wrong button on a computer, it just does whatever it wants. I'm an IT, and that still happens to me. You would think that it would just figure out how to magically make that. Anyways, I realistically think that cryptocurrency in general is going to be a very big. It's going to absorb the inflation, I think. The reason I keep saying this is that I've been really, really looking into this and trying to hone in on it, because we see the stock market, we see the inflation, we see the bond market. I don't know if you guys have paid attention to the bond market at all, but holy moly, the bond market, that's a big one. These are massive bubbles. These are where these bankers and the powers that be, the people behind the scenes, the people that we don't really know about unless we really go look for them, the owners of the banks, let's call it that. Again, to be careful out here, and this is why I do the Patreon, because I will name names in Patreon. I will show you who they are in Patreon. I have. So far, those videos have stayed up, which is really odd. I would have thought some of those have been pulled down. Actually, I have had a couple pulled down. So I talked about doing crypto mortgages around how to use crypto in a mortgage as collateral for your mortgage kind of thing. And I looked at that and I put that on the Patreon and it got pulled down. I had to pull it back up. I was like, that was really weird that happened. So anyways, stuff like that I talk about in there. So anyways, the entire environment right now is very, very volatile. We can see that clearly. It's very interesting. You know, I talk about Polygon and Matic a lot. That one was actually up against everything else going down. From a value perspective, what Polygon brings to the table, Matic is the ticker. What they bring to the table is something that no one else is really doing. Not like they are. And the connections and the partnerships, the joint ventures that they're doing are absolutely phenomenal. And they're doing another round of signing up for advocates, I think that's what it is. I actually may sign up to do that because, well, I've been in it since the beginning. I love the project. I love the people doing that kind of stuff. And it would be really fantastic to, I'm already advocating for them. So fun times. So, but yeah, I will run through the chat here and say good morning, and then we will continue for everything here. Good morning, Gloria. How are you? What is going on? It's afternoon here, but good morning, good evening, good afternoon. That's why I start the show that way. Rick, how are you doing, my friend? Good morning. Thanks for popping in. Lithia, how are you? Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Tom, good morning. Took a nap and drove after driving back. Cool, man. I'm glad you guys get to hang out. You know, living in the same state makes a big difference, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Makes it really, really cool. Let's see who else we have here. Daddy-O, good morning. How are you doing? And Trini Man, what's up, brother? How are you doing? It is a beautiful day today. It's freezing cold today here. Actually, just got back from getting coffee at a coffee shop. Drank that down, and I'm still cold. I get heat. It's down in my basement. There's no running heat, if you will. So I've got space heaters and whatnot in my little dungeon down here. Yes, it is a dungeon. Anyways, so I'm having a lot of squirrely moments this morning. Let's see here. I'm gonna pop over here. We'll just continue on talking about some very interesting stuff here. So found this article. Market drop was collateral damage of a rethink. Credit Suisse, whatever his name is, Galoob, says repricing crazy high stocks without earnings, high PEs. Investors can make excess returns in this type of environment. Yes, they can, and this is what they're doing. They're playing the markets. They're jumping them down and bumping them up and jumping them down and bumping them up. This is what the Federal Reserve does. They prop up the stock markets. They're literally adding fiat currency into the market, and it is disgustingly annoying and frustrating. The stock market's recent downturn is a result of many companies getting caught up in the repricing of richly valued stocks. No, it's not. They printed too much money and there is no value in the dollar that people are returning. They're trying to get out of it and put it into real assets. Did you guys see gold and silver's prices before they dropped? Yeah, me too. Those were up a lot because people were looking into protecting their purchasing power. This is what they always do. Those are paper stocks, though. Those are paper gold, paper trading. That's not very safe, not very good. Anyways, and let's see here. Many of the companies caught up in the repricing of richly valued stocks and the heightened volatility represents the opportunity to make excess returns, according to Jonathan Golub at Credit Suisse Securities. Firms without earnings, high PE, and high sales growth stocks, among others, were all priced at crazy high levels and didn't deliver better earnings. No. They were just overvalued. In other words, inflation. That's what that means. When a stock price goes up and there's no actual earnings to provide that stock price to be up, that means you inflated the currency too much. When home values increase $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 in a year, that's inflation. That doesn't mean the home's worth that much more, or that many homes have exchanged hands and cause the prices to actually gradually rise up because, well, someone's going to want to profit on that house, right? That's not always the case. Here's the deal. When you print too much money, that's what happens. They inflated the entire currency, the entire market as a whole, creating a problem in general with everything as far as its price is concerned. It doesn't mean it's that value. That doesn't mean the value is associated with that. This is just as true in the stock market. Whereas these people would have you believe that there's a repricing going on. No, they're they over they overprinted the money. These types of assets then get replaced amid growing concerns about the Federal Reserve's hawkish path and inflation. But the repricing happened so quickly that it caused near-term collateral damage. Here's the thing, folks. I'll come back over here for a second. Here's the thing. All right. Here's the thing. All these news articles that I show you guys on my show, these are mainstream articles. I'm trying to show you what they're telling everyone else. And they're trying to show, to cut through the BS. We'll put it that way. All right. Just trying to cut through the BS. So you guys can see where they're lying. You can see where the bull went number 2 and point it out. That's what I'm trying to do, basically. Okay? You need to understand that with this stuff that's happening with the markets, the housing, everything, bonds, it's all massively inflated in price. It doesn't mean it is valued in that. Now, to the demise and to the destruction of the Federal Reserve and of these financial institutions, I don't think they realize what they did, what kind of a mess they caused. But it's also maybe that perfect storm for Bitcoin, cryptocurrency in general, to act like a sponge and legitimately soak up everything. Yep. The Federal Reserve is going to raise rates. I don't know how much. They're saying in March. Really don't have a clue. I mean, they're basically picking the lesser of two evils, right? They're going out and they're saying, "Hey, this is what's happening. We can't do anything about it, so tough luck." Tough luck. I also have a theory, and that those are my new listeners. This is for you guys more than it is for my regulars here. I have a theory that they may just replace the entire monetary system with the new CBDCs they're talking about. And I'm probably wrong on that, but it's just a hunch. It's kind of one of those things, because I'm probably wrong on that, because if they did that, the rest of the world would say, "Nope, that's currency manipulation. We do not trust you." And maybe they're going to do it because they're just stupid, or they're arrogant, or they're pride comes before the fall, right? Maybe they're just complacent, or they're so head in the cloud. I don't know what the term is. They're so head in the clouds that they don't even realize that if they go and do something like that, the rest of the world is going to say, "Screw you, we're not touching your money. It's worthless. You don't even value it. You don't even trust it." But if you come back and they go and they do that, try to revamp the dollar, like Cliff's been saying or had said, they're going to try 3 times and it's going to fail. But the rest of the world will be using Bitcoin. You and me, all of my regulars, we're all into this stuff. We get this. We understand this. This is what's happening. We see the writing on the wall and we're trying to prepare for it, right? It is going to be a phenomenal thing for us because we've been doing this. We've been in this for such a long time. I've been saying it. All markets are going to come down. Crypto and regular markets, bonds, whatever, on all markets. Bitcoin's going to stop. And the rest of the markets are going to keep going down. Crypto is going to then become what everyone looks at as holy cow. That's where we need to put our money. And it's going to act as a sponge and soak up all of the excess fiat that they printed, which isn't necessarily going to be good, because if it's valued in the dollar, and it absorbs all those dollars, that value, that price for Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies will be an inflated price. You have to look at then valuing everything in Bitcoin or Satoshis or gold, silver, or maybe we as humanity need to figure out a system where we can take the amount of gold that's available or silver and make Bitcoin or whatever, Bitcoin the digital representation of gold and Litecoin the digital representation of silver, which would then change in value because then Litecoin would become more valuable than Bitcoin, et cetera, et cetera. That would be pretty cool for a lot of us, right? And I could still mine Litecoin. I mean, I have miners to do that. There's a lot of people who do. It's not hard. It's very, very interesting to think about that kind of stuff. But that's what's going to happen, in my opinion, right? So everything on the show is my opinion. It is not. It is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Okay. You need to understand that I'm looking at this from an experience of technology and experience in the crypto space. And just over the past several years, I've really kind of took myself back to school and studied economics, not Keynesian economics, Austrian economics. Okay, the real way it works, right? Studied some law, studied economic law, studied different things around financial law. I don't know, and I don't know anywhere near enough, but I know enough to where I can keep up with what's taking place and go, okay, that's not good, or that's amazing kind of thing. Let's go away for that. So anyways, I keep moving here real quick. I push the right button this time. The Fed's inflation policy walks a tightrope between two continue whatever, morning brief, whatever. The Fed's walking a tightrope between Wall Street and Main Street. Yeah, they are. And that's what I was saying yesterday. They've got to pick between the lesser of two evils. And they did. They showed you all yesterday, or yeah, it was yesterday, that they picked between the lesser of two evils. And that is to let the American people suffer under the inflation policy. Not that isn't necessarily a bad thing because it's waking people up. They get it now. But they chose to support their buddies in Wall Street. Because if they had raised rates, the entire market would have collapsed yesterday and we would be in a death spiral today. The entire bond market, everything, banks would be shuttered, closed, be done. That's what's coming, by the way, in March if they actually raise rates. Here's what's going to happen. They aren't going to raise rates. If they do, I will be shocked. I will be surprised if they actually raise rates. They're going to probably do the CBDC thing and say, okay, new currency here, cryptocurrency, blah, 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 and the balance sheet will just disappear with fiat. I don't know. No one really knows. That's just a hunch. I'm just trying to sit here and go, how can they actually do this? That's one way I could see them trying to. It's not going to work, but I could see them trying to. How could they actually help Main Street actually become normal again? They won't. Guys and gals, I'm telling you, cryptocurrency is going to end up being, and I don't know how yet, but it's going to end up being what the world uses to transact between each other. Basically, yeah, Daddy-o, that's a good way to put it. Congress has to get out of the equity market before it drops. Before they pull the plug. That is a very good way to put that. Basically, they all need to unwind their positions. If they unwind their positions, which is where everything's kind of collapsing right now, and then they get themselves safe and secure and they're good to go. Yeah, no. The Dow Jones is massively fluctuating wildly here. Let's see if I can zoom in appropriately. Get it right. There we go. So this is what is that? It's Monday. No. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday. No. Today's Wednesday, right? What's today? Today's Wednesday, 27th. It's running together for me, people. It's running together. I am like not with it today at all. Coffee's not doing a darn thing. Maybe I'll go to the gym or something and it'll feel better. And then it gapped up today and then it's come back down. Look at this. It's just boom, boom. The reason they're doing that is because they're propping it up. But no. They're gonna slam crypto. They're gonna slam it and they're gonna try and keep it slamming it and they're gonna try and keep slamming it. They're gonna try and keep slamming it. Let's see. What is the no? Where was that? I saw it the other day. Bitcoin is in the midst of printing a gold. Nope, cancel. A golden art. The golden arches, whatever that means, and I can't get it to pull back up. I can't find it. Whatever. I saw it somewhere. As soon as it gets done. Thanks, Tom. It is Thursday. It feels like it should be Saturday. Clint, listening on the road. Howdy, crypto warriors. Dude, be careful. Be careful. Oh, man. Where was I at? So they're keeping crypto suppressed. This is the other thing. Once crypto derivatives became a thing, it kind of sit there and made you go, there we go again. Then you got to remember, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies ride on a blockchain. And they can only manipulate this. By the way, just so y'all understand this, if you want to prevent them and or block them from manipulating the prices of these cryptos, don't trade on the exchanges. Take it offline once you obtain it. Put it in a wallet. They can't manipulate something that's not there. That's my take on it. And that's how I sit here and go, yeah. And if they're left to only play with a certain percentage of it, they can't really do a whole lot at the end of the day. On-chain transactions matter a lot. This whole paper trading in the stock on the markets that they have, that's a bunch of baloney. It is a bunch of baloney. Yeah, anyways. Fun times we're heading into, and I really think inflation's going to force crypto up because it has to go somewhere. And all of the other markets are inflated to kingdom come. They're inflated to the moon. Those bubbles are going to pop. The money's going to go somewhere. It's not going into cash because all that's going to do is cause inflation to be worse. So where else is it going to go? Real estate's inflated. Where else is it going to go? It's going to go to crypto. It's going to go to crypto. Noble off top, Bitcoin hodler metric points to depressed Bitcoin price. Interesting little observation, way to put that there. It's a slow grind for long-term holders who know significant macro top or bottom in this site. With no significant macro top or bottom in sight, the reserve risk metrics suggest. You gotta wonder. If you can't see the top and you can't see the bottom, where are you? Where are you gonna go? We're sitting in a holding pattern, waiting for the rest of the world to wake up to the fact that crypto is where the money's gonna go. Look at Turkey. Look at the other countries. They're going their fiat's going to collapse. And when the fiat collapses, it's not going, there's no way for them to buy gold and silver. They're not going to buy paper, silver, and gold. They're not going to go buy the dollar. They're going to go buy crypto. They already are in the countries that are doing this. Why else would the IMF be telling El Salvador to stop with the whole Bitcoin legal tender thing? It's hurting us. You're going to hurt your people. No, it's going to hurting them. And they know it, and there's nothing they can do about it. And I love it. Basically, the president of El Salvador is being big, screw you guys. To be careful because my kids watch this show. You'll know what I mean. They literally is doing that. And he's doing what I'm saying here. Blockchain gives you freedom to do what you want. You don't have to be beholden to somebody else making a policy for you. You make your own policy. You make your own rules. You spend or do what you want with your money. That is the beauty of it. And if it's an on-chain transaction, in other words, you pull it off the exchange or you use a wallet and you send it to another wallet, those are on-chain transactions, then it shows real value transfer. Very, very, very amazing stuff. Anyways, it should very well be very interesting here. What was this article? I didn't even read down this far on the article. No, don't worry about that. We're sitting still. This is also very interesting. I just wanted to bring this up for you guys to all pay attention to it. So be aware of this. Just kind of a public announcement, a PSA, whatever. Crypto Policy Advocate Group warns that disastrous provision in the new U.S. bill. According to Coin Center director, the proposed bill would essentially bypass existing checks and balances on the Treasury Secretary's authority in surveilling financial institutions, including crypto firms. In other words, they're going to say, Treasury, you can look at whatever you want. I'm not looking. Basically, there's no due process, no privacy for you and what you do with anything financial anymore in this bill. And I'm trying to find, there's the bill title, to prohibits or conditions on certain transmissals of funds. Congress finds the following: a financial crimes enforcement network, FinCEN, is financial intelligence unit of the United States. Basically, it's saying that they can do whatever they want. This tweet, go follow this dude, and or at least look the tweet up so you can see what he does. He kind of puts it in the American Competes Act. I guess that's the bill. Just introduced in the House, and which will very likely pass in some form as a provision that would be disastrous, not just for cryptocurrency, but for privacy and due process in general. Please keep an eye on that. I highly recommend you call your congressman. Not that that does anything, right? Call your congressman. They do not care about you. Now that they're in power, they're slaves to their masters, who are the banks. Yep. The Treasury is supposed to have all kinds of different things and supposed to do very specific things. Constitution says they are only allowed to mint or create money with gold and silver coins. It's very specific. Very specific. Very specific for a reason. Creating a fiat currency is not a good thing. Just public service note. Y'all keep an eye on this, please. Not that calling your congressman would do anything, but you could try. You could try. They all need to be, quite frankly, our Constitution and our Bill of Rights is very specific. I read the Bill of Rights, well, the first part of it, on one of my Patreon shows a while back. Because it got pulled from a regular show because I don't know why. Because I was telling the truth. It's on my Patreon. And if you can't find it, let me know. I'll repost it. We Daddy-O, there's no one in Washington. If you haven't been following Richard Citizen Journalist or Nancy Drew, Twitter and on Telegram and other places, you probably should. There's no one there. There's no one there. But that's not a bad idea. Realistically, it's not a bad idea. Because, I don't know, that's our job. It's our job. Or state capitals. They're there still. Yeah. You guys saw that Wisconsin pulled their votes, right? They withdrew their what's it called? The electoral vote, the electoral college. They withdrew it for the current administration. Don't they all have to stay? If that happens, even if one does that, I think the rest of it has to be called into question, doesn't it? I don't know what the legal proceedings are for that. I actually would really like to know what that is. But did you guys see that? There's a little squirrel here from what we're really talking about, but go look into that. I shared it on my Twitter, I think. You double check. Let's go over here and I'll show you Twitter. 2 dots. There we go. Blah, 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 blah. It was Wisconsin that did it, I believe. Let's go over here. Facebook already pulled it. My thing, they like, this is fact checkers, blah, 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 blah. Guess who the fact checker was? USA Today. Yeah, let's see, where was it? I know I shared it. There it is, right there. Wisconsin Assembly votes to withdraw its 10 electorals for the flashbang 2020 presidential election. Go to my Twitter, PAPAJO42. Y'all can't even see that. I am so sorry. PAPAJO42. Papa Joe got deleted because I was telling the truth. It wasn't me who deleted it. It was these knuckleheads. Anyways, I digress. Fun times ahead of us. Anyways, I have a meeting I am actually officially late for now, and that's fine. I enjoy doing this stuff a lot. Like I said, if y'all join the Patreon, help me grow that out. Share it out with people if you think it's worth it. And the more you watch these shows, the more faster I can get to YouTube doing stuff and whatnot. And it would be fantastic to be able to do this kind of stuff a lot. Anyways, you all have a wonderful, beautiful, and blessed day. I will see you at 4:30 Eastern for my Patreon, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Right button. See ya.